Okay, we're going to start Hayom Bais. Hayom Bais, and it says maybe it's 15 lines from the top. The line starts Klal. We're starting with the words Reb Chia. Reb Chia bar Abba Cholash. Reb Chia bar Abba was weak. All the Gabi Rabbi Yochanan came to him. All means to come inside, to enter. No, Reb Chia bar Abba is a Talmud of Rabbi Yochanan. Abba. He had a son. We learned yesterday about his son. What was the different Gersa? He had a son, Abba. Abba Breder Reb Chia bar Abba, that we had yesterday. He was a major Talmud of Rabbi Yochanan. The Gemara later on is going to tell us. He chazed every 30 days, all his teachings. So Amar Lei, Rabbi Yochanan tells to his student that he was sick. He says, Chavim alach yisurim. Do you appreciate? Are you happy with these yisurim? Amar Lei, leihen v'lei schara, not them and not their reward. Amar Lei, havli yadach. He says, give me your hand. Yav liyadi v'ukme. Gave him his hand and he healed him. He stood him up. Rabbi Yochanan chalash. Rabbi Yochanan was ill. Ala gabe Reb Chanina. So Reb Chanina came to visit him. Reb Chanina is his teacher. Amalei, he says, Chavim alach yisurim. Do you appreciate the afflictions? Amalei, leihen v'lei schar, not them and not their reward. Amalei, havli yadach. Give me your hand. Yav liyadi v'ukme. Gave him his hand and he stood him up. He healed him. The Gemara asks, am I looking Rabbi Yochanan l'nafshei? Let Rabbi Yochanan heal himself. He just did it to Reb Chia bar Abba. Why couldn't he heal himself? The Gemara answers, famous line, Amri, they say, Ein chavish mater asim beis asurim. That someone that's incarcerated can't get himself out from prison. He needs help from the outside. He can't do this himself. It's interesting. The Ben Ish Chai brings that from Arizal and Chaim Vital that there's a way of healing someone by checking their pulse. And Havli Yadeh was he was checking the pulse. It wasn't. It was some spiritual, but it was a spiritual that went through some medium. Rabbi Lazar Chalash. Rabbi Lazar was ill. Rabbi Yochanan goes to visit him. Rabbi Lazar, it says Eliezer, but it's Rabbi Lazar. Chaza the have kagani b'beisafa. He saw that he's living in a dark house. Gali ledare. He pulls up his sleeve. He reveals his arm. B'nachal lahira, and a light goes into the house. So Chazi David Kabachi Rabbi Lazar. He sees that Rabbi Lazar is crying. Amalei amai kabachas. He says, why are you crying? Imishum Torah d'la yafshit. Is it because of the Torah that he didn't learn enough? So Shanino, I don't know if that's insulting, no. It means he maybe wanted to learn more. Shanino, it was taught. He says, it doesn't matter how much you learn. We learned this in Menachem. That whether you give a small mincha or a big mincha, as long as you mechaben libel hashemayim. Right. And we said this B'negei Torah as well because of the Der Menachos and Tzadik Tes, if you remember, Parakach Chachris, Parakach Arvis, and then we quoted this Gemara. V'imishim mezayne, and if it's because of Parnasa, food, like Koladam Zaychel Shtei Shulchanis. Not everyone merits to have everything. You want to have Torah and you want to have wealth. That's, Taisus points out that make sure you don't say Ein Adam Zaycha. That it's impossible, because it is possible, it's just not everyone. So it's not possible for everyone. It doesn't happen to everyone. V'mishum b'nei, if it's because of children, lost children, dein garma da'asiri bir. This is the son of my 10th son. This is the bone of my 10th son. Yesterday we mentioned this. We mentioned that it wasn't a shear to give off tumah, and but it could be a tooth. And remember we mentioned that a tooth doesn't give off tumah. That could be another interpretation. Rashi says it's a tooth. I have etzem. I have an Rashi etzem. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, Yeah, on the side of Rashi, he says that it's a shein haba. He quotes from the Aruch that it's a shein. Kinkas Rashbam. Okay, so he's trying to console him. He says, "Look, I have worse. Somehow that's if you have someone else, you could commiserate. Somehow other people have suffered. It makes it feel better." Amalei says no. Rabbi Elazar says, "L'hai shifrid the bali ba'Afrika b'china." I'm crying over this beauty that's gonna be disintegrated in the earth. So Rabbi Yochanan says, "Al dav adei kabachis." That's definitely worthwhile to cry about. A bachet havaya, and they cry together. Now, what's going on over here? Apparently, Rabbi Yochanan was very beautiful. That the Gemara tells us in Gemara tells us he would sit outside the mikveh. The women should see him when they come out, and they should have children beautiful like him. The Gemara tells us that he was from the remnant of the beautiful families of Yerushalayim. And it could be, the pshat over here is that they're not crying over, someone that's a physical beauty that's going to rot in the earth. He's crying because this is the last vestige of Yerushalayim that they're still able to see. And it's sort of like the end of the Churban. So this is the last one that's there. After this, we won't have any recognition of the...
He says,
maybe it's too far removed. Maybe it's... Yossi has a good point. He says, 1 second, if he sits outside the mikveh, so then the children will look like him. They'll still look like Yerushalayim. So it could be that's a step removed. So, very good. Okay. So ad hachi v'hachi, while they're crying in the interim, in the meantime, Amalei Chabib Menachem Yisurim. Rabbi Yochanan says to Rabbi Elazar, "Do you appreciate the suffering?" Amalei lehin v'lei sfar, and I don't want it, and I don't want its reward. Amalei havli yadav, give me your hand. Yavli yadav v'ukmei, gave his hand, and he brought him up. Apparently, for a person's personal development, the Yisurim can help refine him. But for his avodas Hashem and what his purpose is in this world, the Yisurim probably stop him from accomplishing what he's supposed to accomplish. So he was asking, do you want to get personally more refined? And that he says, that's not what I'm interested in. I'm here to do my purpose, to accomplish. Okay. Rav Huna, Rav Huna had 400 barrels of wine that went sour. Alagabi Rav Yehuda, Achvei de Rav Salah Chasida v'Rabbanan. So Rav Yehuda, the brother of Rav Salah Chasida, and the Rabbanan went to visit him. So Amrila, and some say that it was Ravada Barava v'Rabbanan. But Ravada Barada and the Rabbanan, and the Rabbanan means like the students teach you, went to visit. They're visiting Rav Huna that lost a lot of money, 400 barrels of wine. V'Amrulei, they said to him, Li'ayin mar b'milei, let the master look into his things. This is like, they give him mussar, check out, maybe he did something wrong. So the Ben Ish Chai has this cute thing here. He says, La'ayin mar b'milei, why don't you look into what you taught? Because, according to one Girsa in the Gemara yesterday, we said Rava in some statement, but there's a Girsa there that says it's Rav Huna. And Rav Huna says, Imray Adam Sheyasum Baramalav, Yifashir from Isaac. If a person sees that he has suffering, he should check out his actions. Lion Mar B'milei, why don't you look into what he said?
Where are you seeing the commentary?
Oh, it's a separate sefer. They happen to have it over here on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Ben Yada.
You're cheating.
It's a separate sefer. It's a lot of fun.
Definition of fun.
Okay, so no, it's creative. It's Amr. Yeah, he'll mention the Shulam, but Gulam you'll see more than they say that. Amr Lahu. So Rav Huna says to them, whoever it is, it's either Rav Yehuda, the brother of Salah Chasida, or it's Rabbi Barava and the students. Am I suspected in your eyes? Which means you suspect me that I do something wrong. You don't trust me. And do you not trust Hashem that He does judgment without judgment? It means there must be some reason. Amar lahu, he says to them, anyone that has anything to say about me, say it. Amrulay, they said, Hachi Shmilan, we have something actually. We heard the Layav Mar Shavisha Larise, you didn't give the twigs to the artists. The way they would work the fields was they would, what's it called? A sharecropper? Someone would own a field, and then they would have someone that worked the field, and he would take part of the produce. Now, one of the agreements was that when they would prune the trees, the twigs would also be divided by the sharecropper and the owner. Now, Rav Huna apparently didn't give the sharecropper the twigs. So, Amar Lahu, he says to them, Mikashavak li midi mine, did he leave me anything? Hakaganav le kuli, he took everything this year. He didn't leave me any of the produce. And now I'm supposed to give him the twigs as well. Now the twigs were his. Amalei, they were supposed to split them. Amalei, he says, they said to him, after a ganav, it's like if someone steals from a ganav, he still tastes the taste of geneva. In other words, even though you could legitimate, you can justify what you're doing, but nevertheless, it still has a flavor of geneva. And for someone that's on a high level, is held to that standard as well.
It's not safer.
Tell me again. Oh, that's what we're saying. Even though a grain of menaganav is hot, right? But you still taste it. So there's still a flavor there. Yeah. You put it from pain kefel and dalit behei or whatever, but there still is a flavor there. So the Mefarshim asks, what's the problem of it in Ishtina Lenafshay? We have a Gemara study. You're allowed to take the law into your own hands, right? It's Aminiyah. The Gemara says, Avad in Ishtina Lenafshay maybe is only the exact item that he took. He was not taking back the produce that the sharecropper took. He was withholding the twigs, but the produce itself he could have gone and taken back because it's his. Oh. But he didn't do that. He's withholding some other part of this, some other produce. I'm sorry. Well, he was saying that he owes me money, like in general. He owes me all of this. This is interesting. Benny, you want to tell something? So
that way it said here in the notes that the twigs were really the canes that used to hold up the. It's not really produce. It's just something they used to hold up
the vines. That's interesting.
That's
I was wondering what the twigs were
doing in the vineyard.
I knew they were cutting off because they were. It says that they would prune it, and then what would they do? It doesn't say what they would do. I figured that they would use it just for firewood. But
that's what's
okay, good. Okay, very good. Okay, very good.
If somebody has a question.
Oh, we repeated. Yeah, Dr. Stein is saying that the twigs are used to hold up the vines. That's okay.
That's a variation of holy wood and vine.
Hollywood?
You have to
California reference.
Yeah. California reference. Hollywood and
Los
vine.
Angeles reference.
Capital
reference. It was good. It was good.
I accept on myself that I'll return it. So now Rav Huna accepts to return it. There are some say that the vinegar returned to be wine. And what did the others say?
Or the price.
Very good. And some say that the price of vinegar went up and was sold for the price of wine. How did they have a machlekes and metzias? The answer is that people saw what happened there. We know that it's sold for $1,000, whatever. Some say that it's sold like that because they just know that it's sold. Some say that it's because it turned back into wine, and some say it's because the vinegar sold for the wine. That's how. Okay.
This was a famous story somewhere.
Yeah. Where else is it? I'm not
I
sure.
don't remember, but about the fact that there was a vinegar shortage and they thought the wine wasn't good, then the wine turned to vinegar.
Okay. Tanya, start in a brisa. Abba Binyamin Aimer. Abba Binyamin says, Al Shnei Dvarim Yisim Star Kol Yamai. There were two things that I was concerned about my whole life. Al Tfilasi Shetehei Lefnei Mitasi. On my prayers that they should be before my bed. Al Mitasi, and on my bed Shetehei Nesuna Bein Safal Dvarim, that should be placed between north and south. Al Tfilasi Shetehei Lefnei Mitasi. Regarding the first one, my Lefnei Mitasi, what does it mean in front of, before my bed? Eily Lefnei Mitasi Mamash, if he would pray before his bed. But Rabbi Yehuda Marab says in some says the name of Rab. And some say that Rabbi Shua ben Levi said it. How do you know that someone at Tavin should be directly against the wall? Shenema, as it says, this is when Chizkiel was sick. And Yeshaya and Navi came in and told him that he's going to die. And then he turns to the wall. It says, Vayasav Chizkiel panav el hakir vayispalo. Chizkiel turned to the wall and he davened and he was given another 15 years. Okay, so we see that you have to daven to the wall, facing directly in front of the wall, not with the bed in between you and the wall. So it says, don't say it means in front of the bed, next to his bed, which means that when he wakes up in the morning, he would make sure that he would daven right away. Rashi adds in the words here that are a little disturbing. He says that he was always careful not to do work and not to study Torah before he davened. Taisvus asks on Rashi, says, you're not allowed to study. He says, I don't know where Rashi gets this from. He says he has rayas. Taisvus has rayas that you are allowed to learn before. So it's interesting that if without Rashi and Taisvus, we would have read this clearly that he's talking about evening. He would daven before he went to bed. But we're talking about Kriya Shema in the evening. It's like it's so interesting that the morning comes in here. Okay. The next thing is mitasi staying sooner bein tzaf and l'darim, and on my bed should be between the north and the south. Rab Chama Bar Chanina says, anyone that positions his bed, that the head is on the north or south, and the feet are at the north or south. In other words, between north and south, not east or west. So he'll have male children, which is good, right? To point that out for the Ashkenazi crowd.
How many girls you have? I have 4 girls. That explains it. I think about my bed.
It's Tzvuncha Tzmali Vietnam. Yisbu Banim, the treasures, Tzvuncha is treasures, but it's also Tzafan, it's also north. It fills their stomach. And Yisbu Banim, they'll have plenty of sons. Okay. Very interesting.
Should the head be at the north, in other words?
So it's over here, the simple way of reading this is that the head and feet should be north, south. Doesn't say exactly which one. Now, as opposed to east and west. However, I should point out that there are Mekubalim that say that Bein Safan L'Darim means that the sides of the bed should be north and south, which means the heads should be east and west, which messes everything up in how to learn this Gemara. Ben Yehoyada says that, look at this, Al Shnei Dvar Ma'isi Mitztayer. He says, I was bothered by this because I don't know the pshat. So he didn't know how to do it. His whole life he was bothered by how to put the bed because you have 2 pshatim that are opposite. That's how he learns. And then he has another pshat in Mitasi.
He just says that if the man
Wait.
satisfies the
Right.
weight,
Then he has.
they have boys.
Right.
That's another.
Very good.
What was that?
Very good. Since you do it like a mezuzah, you have to put it because it's 2 pshatim. Do you do it north, because which side, the head and the feet are north-south, or the sides are north-south? That's very good. Now, the Ben Ish Chai points out that Tzafon is 226, together with the Kailul is 227, and Zacharim Zachar is the Gematria 227. So Tzafon and Zachar is the same Gematria. Wait, we're not done with that. We'll see them a little bit more in a second. Rav Nachman by Yitzchak Yitzchak says, also his wife won't miscarry. It says that the treasure or the north fills his stomach, and then it says that he'll have plenty of sons. And over there it says, Vayimlu Yamea Moledes, her days were complete. Vihine Soimim Bevitna. And she has twins in her womb. I'm saying interesting that this is talking about Rivka, that every word of this pasuk has a double letter. Vayimlu has two vavs, Yameh has two yuds, Levis has two lamets, Vihine has two hays, Soimim has two taps, and Bevitna has two bases because they were twins.
Soimim has two mems.
Soimim has two mems. I'm sorry, two mems. Okay. The interesting thing is, the Ben Ish Chai then throws in his gematria again, and he says that Ein Neufel is also 227. So this Tzafon, Zachar, and Ein Neufel that she doesn't miscarry is all the same. Okay. Tanya was talking to Bais Abba Binyamin Eimer. Abba Binyamin says, two people that go into daven. One of them davens faster than the other one. I can see this happening right now. But when it comes time to leave, the one that finishes first, he runs out. The yatsa, he doesn't wait for his friend, he just leaves. So it says, tarfin like tfilas b'fanav. Tarfin is they like pluck his tefillah, or they throw his tefillah into his face.
Why did he do that?
He didn't wait for his friend.
Oh.
This fellow is like, look, if I'm finished, then there's probably nothing else going on here anyway. So if I'm finished, God must have left, so the prayers are over. Look, I finished. You see people when they finish davening, so they start schmoozing,
right?
Like as if everyone is supposed to be finished. Those, even though they shouldn't be schmoozing anyway. But it turns out that people aren't finished. Okay, well I'm finished, so that's good enough, right? So Shinema,
so what's ripped?
His tefillas are ripped out are they thrown into his face? Payrif nafshe b'apay, throws his soul into his face. Nafshe here means prayer. Like it says, ve'eshpeich, what does Chana say? Ve'eshpeich nafshi lefnei Hashem. Was that the expression? When Eily thought she was drunk. Say, I'm pouring out my soul, which meant prayer. Halamancha tazevaretz, is it because of you that the earth is forsaken? Which means that, what do you think, when you're finished and God leaves and no one else matters? But not only that, he causes the shkina to leave. Oh, isn't that interesting? That first you tell him that you don't matter, then you say that you really do matter. Okay, Shenemar, vayatek tzur nimekaymai. He moved the rock, that his rock will move him from his place. Will be moved from his place. That's what it means. Tzur is the rock. Being tzur el HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the rock means Hashem in many places, but now we quote a sort of rather negative pasuk. Tzur Yelad Chateshi, the rock that gave birth to you. Teshi is like unmindful. However, let's do the opposite. What happens if the fellow waits for his friend? It's like a carrot and stick. What's his reward? Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina says, we're on top of the vav. Zeichel Brachos Halalu. He merits the following brachas. Shnema, as it says, if you would only wait, Shavta could mean to listen, but it also means to wait. If you would only wait for my mitzvahs, your peace will go like a river. Tzidkascha, and your righteousness, Tigala Yayam, like the waves of the sea. And like sand will be your offspring. It's etzoy meyacha, etc. It says will be like rain. Your offspring will be like rain. So you'll get a lot of brachas if you wait for your friend. Tanya, another brisa that quotes Abba Binyamin. Abba Binyamin.
Does it have to do with the fact that it might be dangerous for his friend to walk home alone, or it doesn't say that? It's this thing with all.
That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. That's probably the shot. What David is saying, does it have to do with it being dangerous to walk home alone? Probably the shot is that he's not disturbing the fellow. Only the fact that the other fellow feels nervous that there's no one to walk home with him, and then he disturbs his davening. The fact that the fellow left, and now I have to rush, and that's the unmindfulness here.
Wasn't there a Gemara that said like that at night it would be really dangerous and everyone would die in the field, so they would all go home?
Right. So that's what he's saying, that if they leave one person there, the person gets nervous and can't concentrate. Tanya, it was starting to Bais Binyamin Aimer, the eye was given permission to see. And no one would be able to stand in front of the demons. Amar Abaya says, Inu Nefishi Minan, they are more than us. They're more than us. The Kaime Alan, and they stand on us, like the mounds, like the mounds around the pit, or they surround us. If I could translate mazikin as bacteria, I could understand this a lot easier, but or germs. But anyway, that's not what it's saying. So it goes like this. Amar Avuna. Avuna says, Kol chad v'chad minan. Each one of us, Alpha Mismal has 1,000 on his left side, or Rivivasa miyamine, and he has 10,000 on his right side. Now we're missing some words here, but it says Shenema Yipul Mitzitcha Elef or Ravav Miminecha. That 1,000 will fall from your side and 10,000 from your right side. Okay. Amar.
The rest of the pasuk says they won't approach you.
Right. Right. Amar. This is Rabbi. On the side it says Abaya. Amar Abaya. It says Rabbi here. It's Amar Abaya. Hai duchka David Bakala Mineo Havi. When you feel like claustrophobic at a shear, and really there's a lot of room, it's because of these demons that are there that are making you feel tight. Hani Birki Deshili Minayo. These tired knees, that also comes from them. Hani Mari de Rabbanan de Balo. The clothing of the rabbis that's worn out, of the yeshiva students, what work are they doing? They're not working. Well, how did it get worn out? Michufi to do, it's from rubbing against the demons. Hani Kari de Menachem. These knees that have pain, or legs that have pain, Minayo, it's from them. If someone wants to know them,
Just want to ask everybody to please mute their phone.
To take sifted ashes, and he puts it around his bed, he spreads it around his bed. And in the morning he'll see he carried the Tanagolta like feet of chickens in the ash. It sounds like detective work, right? Right, the feet, because apparently their feet are like chickens.
I like you.
By the way, this doesn't work if you have chickens in the house.
I like your bacteria analogy, but it works better for viruses. Because if you do a virus, you have a lot of
virus.
Well, shampoo got rid of it.
Yeah, I heard this from
Esther and Jimmy, please mute your phones.
If you did this now, would you see the chicken footprints? And he said no, because the Baal Shem Tov introduced Hasidus, wiped out a lot of the most of the demons.
All of them, no shade in the rabbin. Nope. No shade. Too much light. Too many people.
Hayman the boy the mechzino. Someone wants to see them. Leisei Shilyasa the Shunrasa. You should take a placenta from a female cat. Of course, you can't get a placenta from a male. Takes a placenta of a female. Uchmasa bas black cat. Uchmasa bas uchmasa. Black, the daughter of a black cat. Buchrasa bas buchrasa. A firstborn, the daughter of a firstborn. So that means a second generation black female cat, firstborn. And Valakale benura, you burn it in fire. Lashache, you grind it up, talking about the placenta. And you put some of it in his eye. It says tefillah eye. Rashi says that you put anything in the eye feels full. So it's put a little bit in the eye. And you'll be able to see them. Now, you have to put it in a tube, the parcel of iron. And you have to put an iron seal on it. Maybe it'll get stolen from him. I guess the leftover ash here. I don't know what if Balachtim Pume means that he closes the opening of the tube, or Balachtim Pume means he closes his own mouth. So it's probably the tube. He closes the opening of the tube. We already said he puts a geshpank on it. Closes his mouth. Its mouth or his mouth?
His mouth.
His mouth. Okay, so his mouth.
He will not be harmed.
He closes his mouth. Okay. So that he will not be harmed. Rav Bibi Barabaya, Rav Bibi Barabaya, he did this. Chaza, he saw them v'itzak, but he got harmed. Boy Rabban Rachmiel, the rabbis davened for him v'itzak, and he got healed. Okay, I don't have any comments on that. I haven't tried it, and I know nothing to.
It's Kabbalistic.
Okay.
A lot of stray cats around it.
Yeah. I have a book from a couple of 100 years ago, handwritten with Kabbalah, has all this stuff in it. The lady can't get pregnant.
Oh.
She can't get married. All kind of stuff like that.
Is that an old book? We have to tell Abi Friedman.
Yeah. Don't tell Abi you have a book.
Ask your local doctor.
I actually wanted to get it rewritten because it has like holes in it. It's really old.
Then talk to Abi.
My father used to mess with it, but that's spiritual pharmacy.
He asked about the compound pharmacy, everything that's going on.
Oh, Reb Zusha wanted to see the Menachem. Oh. And he was trembling. He went under his bed for 3 days, trembling. He couldn't even daven to take it.
There was somebody else with the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov gave him permission, and all of a sudden he just freaked out. So all the demons and the shamans, I guess.
Right. Tanya. Started in the Bais Binyamin said, the prayers of a man are only heard in a shul. To listen to the song and to prayer. The Makamina Shamtei Tefillah in the place of the song, that's where the prayer is. Shlomo Kalbach was right. Sing and shul. That's where you daven. Amar Ravin Bar Rav Ada Amar Rav Yitzchak. Ravin Bar Rav Ada says the name of Rav Yitzchak. I had a friend that was a chazan. So in the dormitory, he would sing the chazanas in the shower. And with all the prayers, all the Yom Kippur prayers were coming. So I said, you're davening in the shower. He says, no, in the place that you sing, that's where you pray. So he sings in the shower. He says all that. Yeah. So, Minayin, Shakadosh Baruch Hu Matzah Beis HaKnesses. How do you know that Hashem is in the shul? Shenamar, as it says, Elikim Nitzav Badaskel. Hashem stands in the congregation of God. Okay. How do you know that 10 people, I'm sorry?
Yeah, it doesn't, isn't it, the obvious it says even one.
Yeah, this is, okay, good. This is our Gemara, yes. Right. Well, it's not going to go through 5, but yes, it's very similar to that. How do you know that 10 people that daven in the shechina is there? God stands with the congregation. We know an 8 is 10 people. That we learned from another Gemara.
The way we know that at the congregation of
how do you know that if 3 people are sitting in judgment, that means like a bezdin? How do you know that the shechina is there? Amongst the judges. Amar Ravashi, this is the continuation of the pasuk. Kashav Adam Lasis mitzvah. The person thinks to do a mitzvah b'nenas, and he's beyond his control. he's not able to do it. It's as if he did it. The Torah considers it as if he did it. Even though he didn't fulfill it practically, but his thoughts of doing it, his intention. You're still on? Okay.
Yes. There's some person on there.
Okay. You've been eating placenta, black cat placenta. And how do you know that one person that's sitting and learning Torah, that the Shekhinah is there? As it says, any place where they mention my name, here it's a very good blessing. I will come and bless him. Okay, now the Gemara asks, and once that even one, the Shekhinah is there. So train me by, why do you have to tell me that two is there? What two is less than one? If the Shekhinah is there for one, so then it doesn't go away. Two for sure. So the Gemara says, Trey, michtav milai b'sefer ha'zechreinas, chadlei michtav milai b'sefer ha'zechreinas. If there's two people there, then it's worthy of getting written down into the book of remembrances by God. And if one person, it doesn't get written down. Tosfos says, what do you mean? Everything is written down. He says that there is another book, but it's not written together with everyone else. It's written alone, separately. I'm not sure what the difference is. I'm sorry.
It says the difference is that it says when specifically two people engaged in Torah study are written in the book of remembrance, because an individual studies Torah alone may fail to ascertain the true meaning of the Torah, and therefore his words are not fit to be recorded in the book of remembrances before Hashem. This is less likely when two people study, as presumably one of them will arrive at a true understanding.
Right, that I understand. Two people that study together, then it's more worthy of being written down. The problem is that Tosfos says, what do you mean? One person is also written down. He says, no, it's written alone. It's written in a book alone. That's what I'm asking, like, what's the difference of alone if it's together?
He not remember, therefore he's not remembering. But why don't you just say that the whole thing is written here similar to the way it's written in the Chumash was destroyed by what? If there's 10, if there's 50, 40, going down to 10. That this is a lesson of the Chumash Gemara, does it say? Or the Mishnah is
unless the Gemara has an answer.
Wasn't there a reason?
Unless the Gemara has an answer.
Now
it says, if two people is written, Bais, why does it have to say three? The Gemara says, and when it comes to judgment, it's just civil law, it's not really Torah. The doesn't come. That a judgment is also Torah. And once that it's three, so why does it need to be 10? Why do you have to tell us that 10, the Shekhinah is there? There's three. You have three Shekhinahs already, plus an extra one for the one. Why do you have to say that if there's 10 people? So it says that over here, interesting. There's 10 people, the Shekhinah is there waiting. Tlasa, 3 people, the Shekhinah comes afterwards. Right. So we asked if there's 3, so why do we need 10? The Gemara answers that 10, the Shekhinah comes first. 3, it comes after. So Rabbi Elias, his father was by the Rebbe in Yechidus. The Rebbe tells him this Gemara. He says, what's the difference if the Shekhinah is first or if the Shekhinah is after? The fact is, the Eibush is there. He says, if the Shekhinah is first, then you're visiting the Eibush there. If the Shekhinah comes afterwards, then he said, the Shekhinah sits around the table, Azay Ala Andra. He's just there like everyone else. That's okay. That was the Yechidus. He didn't really understand what the Rebbe wanted to say with this. Because afterwards he went out. He learned the Chizkuni. Chizkuni says that how come only in certain places in Tanakh it says you have to remove your shoes because it's a holy place. It says over there because the Shekhinah was there first. Ad Maskaidas is only if the Shekhinah is there first. And that's why by Yeshua it says remove your shoes. By the snare, remove your shoes. If the Shekhinah comes later, if the Shekhinah comes after, then it's not the Eibishter's place. Right. Okay. Amar Rav Oven bar Rav Adam Rav Yitzchak. I confirmed the story with Rabbi Elias. Rav Oven bar Rav Ada says in the name of Rav Yitzchak, Minayin Shakadosh Baruch Hu miniach tefillin. How do you know that Hashem puts on tefillin? You remember this from the Mimer? Shenemar Nishba Hashem b'yaminu b'Yisrael uzay. Hashem swears by his right hand, by his arm of his strength. Yamina zutayra. His right hand is Torah. On his right hand is the fiery law. And his arm of strength, this is the tefillin. Hashem gives strength to his nation. The Gemara says, we'll see, we'll go through it. How do you know that tefillin is the strength? The Yisrael. How do you know that tefillin is strength for the Jewish people? The Ksiv, as it says, because the nations of the world will look at you, and they will see that the name of Hashem is upon you, and they'll be afraid. Betanya, and it was taught in a Brisa. This might be what you remember. Rabbi Lezer Agadol Aimer, Elu Tefillin Shebaraish. Rabbi Lezer Agadol, that's Rabbi Lezer ben Horkenes. He says that this is the head tefillin. Okay.
Make sure we know asked. This is another.
That he saw Hashem's tefillin.
No, that he asked Hashem, can I see your head? And just turned his back.
Right. The Gemara is going to mention something along those lines shortly, but not with Moshe. But what we just said here is that the tefillin is considered strength, and the people are afraid that tefillin shabaraish when they see. The Ben Yehoyada points out that when they tefillin shabaraish correspond to the thoughts of the head, and the arm corresponds to action. When they see that the Gemara just said that if the person thinks to do a mitzvah, it's already as if he did the mitzvah, even if he's not able to do it. So that makes them afraid. See that even the thoughts by a yid, even the thoughts are counted. That's
if he's prevented.
If he's out, it's
not thinking about
but if thoughts alone, a Jewish person's thoughts alone are so powerful, so that's the Yomi Mecca. I'm sorry, you're all set?
No, it's
okay. Amalei Rab Nachman bar Yitzchak Rab Chia bar Ravin. Rab Nachman bar Yitzchak says to Rab Chia bar Ravin, Hani tefillin d'mari alma maksibu. What does it say in Hashem's tefillin? Hashem wears tefillin. What does it say in them? Amalei, it says, he says to him, this is Rab Chia bar Ravin, says to Rab Nachman bar Yitzchak, Mi kamcha Yisrael gayachad baretz. Who was like the nation Israel? Who was like your nation Israel? One nation on the earth. Mi mishtabach kutshabricha b'shvachad Yisrael. Does Hashem take pride in the praises of the Jewish people? The Gemara says, yeah, he does. Actually, the Ksiv, as it says, as Hashem Hamarta Yom, Hashem praised you. Ksiv Hashem Hamircha Yom, and it says, Martha, you praised Hashem. Hashem Hamircha Yom, Hashem praises you today. Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. Hashem says to the Jewish people, Atem you, Asasuni Chativa Achas Peilin, you made me one essence. How do you translate Chativa? Entity. In the world, and I make you one entity in the world. You make me one entity in the world. Listen, Israel, Hashem, our God, Hashem is one. And I make you one entity in the world. This is Hashem making the Jewish people. Who is like you, Israel? One nation in the earth. Amalei Ravacha Breder Rabbi Ravashi. Ravacha, the son of Rabbi, says to Ravashi, Tenech b'chad beisa. That's good with one compartment of the tefillin, but the tefillin has 4 compartments. Shar batimai, what does it say in the other one? Amalei says, Kimi gai gadol, umi gai gadol. Who is like this great nation? Who is this great nation? Ashrecha Yisrael. Praised as the Jewish people. Ayanisa likim. Has Hashem attempted to take a different nation? And to elevate you. So 1 second. He said we have Mikam Chaki Yisrael, Kimi Gai Gadol, Ashrecha Yisrael, Ayanisa likim. You have 5 compartments. Yochin if you have too many compartments because if each one gets its own compartment. Elakimi Gadol, Umi Gai Gadol, Tadamin Ladadi B'chad Beisa. That's the first one. Those specifically get 1 box. Ashrecha Yisrael, Mikamcha Yisrael B'chad Beisa. Ashrecha Yisrael, Mikamcha Yisrael is in the 2nd box. Ayanisa likim B'chad Beisa, has Hashem attempted to exchange you, is in the 3rd box. And to elevate you, B'chad Beisa is in the 4th box. The Kulu Ksivi Be'adrei, and all of them are written in the arm tefillin in 1 box. Okay. Amar Ravin.
It says here, Chativa, you translate it as an entity.
Okay.
It says the primary meaning is to seek a wife, to enter into a marriage. Therefore, the Gemara is talking about the marriage between the Yid and Hashem.
Where do you see that? Unique, exclusive. To seek a wife. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
I didn't catch
The word chativa is used as a spouse. That where we choose Hashem as a spouse, Hashem chooses us. Amar Ravin bar Rav Adam Rabbi Yitzchak kol haragal lava lebeis hakneses v'lo ba yom echad. Anyone that's accustomed to coming to shul every day, and one day he doesn't come, remember this from Tanya. HaKadosh Baruch Hu mashal by. Hashem asks about him. Shenemar mi bechem yiri Hashem. Who amongst you fears God? Shemeya b'kol avdei. Hashem listens to his servant. Asher hoylach chashechem. That on this occasion he's walking in darkness, and there's no light. If the reason why he's not coming is because he's doing a mitzvah, then there is light. If he's going for rishus, for things that are like business or something, there's no light. Why? Yiftach b'shem Hashem. He should trust in the name of Hashem. My timer. What is this? What's the reason here? He should have trusted in Hashem. The explanation given in this is that a person is obligated to make a living. And you could say that during the time of davening, he's obligated to make a living as well. But that's not so, because during the time of davening for a living is also fulfilling his obligation to make a living. What are you saying, that only going to go to do the business is going to help you and not the davening for the business? Which one is going to help more? No. You have to trust by davening that that Hashem will provide for you. If you daven properly, Hashem will provide. You don't have to take off from davening to do business. Okay, I'm Rabbi Yochanan.
Rashi made a comment that's very unusual. He said the other thing for he's in darkness is that he got up early, like to go on a business trip when it's still dark. And that's why he's missing Minyan. Because I'm thinking of when we just went to see him,
right?
And then we didn't get Minyan. Luckily, in the airport, we walked into the meditation room. Everyone that I was in tefillin. Nobody else can come meditate. That's for sure.
Rabbi Yochanan says at the time Hashem comes to shul and he doesn't find the 10 people there, he immediately gets angry. Why did I come and there's no man? I call and there's no response. Anyone that establishes a set place for his davening, the God of Avram is his help. And when he passes away, they say regarding him, like, whoa, we lost a humble person, we lost a chassid. A student of Avram. How do you know that Avram had a designated place for prayer? It says, Avram woke up in the morning to the place that he stood. Amida means prayer. So when that leaves the shul, should not take big steps. I mean, she should not rush out of shul. Rabbi says, that's only when he's leaving. But coming into shul, mitzvah lemira, it's a mitzvah to run. They ask, what's he saying? That's exactly what he's saying, that you don't run out of shul. So it says, even if you're running, Rabbi is saying that you're allowed to if you're running out of shul, but you're going to a Bais Medrash to learn. That's what someone will learn this. Whatever. Hashem. Run to know God. Reb Zeir says at the beginning, when I would see the rabbis that were running to the Shir on Shabbos, they said the rabbis are violating the Shabbos because they're running on Shabbos, and the way that you walk on Shabbos should not be the way you walk in the weekday. During the weekday, you run, but on Shabbos, you're not supposed to run. But then I heard what Reb Tanchum says, name of Rabbi Shua ben Levi, that a person should always run to hear a shir, a dvar halacha, even on Shabbos, that you go after God like a lion roars. guess if a lion would roar, you'd run. No, nami rehitna. So, so I also started to run. Do I have a moment here? Should I finish to the next one more, please?
Yes.
Amar Reb Zera. Reb Zera says, Igur de Pierre Karata. The reward of going to a shiur is the running to the shiur. Sometimes you didn't understand it, but at least you have the reward. The effort was put in to run. Amar Rabbi Igur de Kala Duchka. When you go to the Kala, which is a shiur before Yom Tov, that's the pressure. There was a large crowd, all the pressing over there. People say, oh yeah, I went to 770, there was so much press. Yes, so that's where the reward comes from. Amar Rabbi Igur de Shmaitza Svara. The reward for learning is the logic that you put in, even if you don't come out with the end result, but at least the logic that you get reward for that. Amar Papa, Igur de Tam Yeshtikusa. The reward for visiting an Avel is the staying quiet, not the talking. It's the silence. Amar Marzucha Igur Tanisa Tzidkasa. Rabbi Marzucha says that the reward of a fast is the tzedakah that you give after the fast or on the fast. Amar Rav Sheisha Sigur Despeda Daloi. The reward of a hesped is the wailing, causes others to wail. Amar Rav Ashi Igur Debeilul Amili. The reward of going to a wedding is the kind things that you tell the chassan. You say, "Oh, you're very good. You found a nice, a good-looking wife, right? Kalanova chasuda. You make him feel good. That's the reward." Yeah. Okay, have a good day.
I knew I just knew it was today. I didn't know.
And tell me again.